Hello, hello, everyone. Get comfortable. It's a new week and the perfect time to bring you a fresh edition of Futbol W with me, Alexis Nunes, Ms. Ali Krieger, and Jeff Kassouf joining us. What a packed show we have for you today. NWSL Match Week 3 pretty much had it all. More red cards. Yes, indeed, it had that. Record-breaking crowds, though. A lot of goals. We're going to be recapping it all. Plus, Ali, you got to catch up with someone very special.
Yes, Melanie Barcenas.
Exactly, a San Diego native who is making waves at the Waves. See what I did there? Oh, I'm here all week, guys. I'm here all week. Plus, we're going to show you the top 10 goals of the week and have a look at what's going on over in Europe, because there was a little thing called the Manchester Derby that didn't really go my way. But we'll talk about that later on, shall we? Let's start off with our game of the week. And it was quite an interesting one. Angel City up against the Houston Dash in this one. Look at that for some atmosphere. I love me some pre-game vibes. We pick this up in the 10th minute. Maggie Graham will find herself alone at the back post, and she will eventually tap it in with her own header here.
Yeah, I mean, this right side was very active for Houston with Avery Patterson getting up there. I think that they really had some good sequences to find success down that right, and they get the early goal through Maggie Graham with a little bit of confusion in the back for Angel City.
So the home team trailing now at halftime. When you need something big, though, Ali, you call on the big Icelandic queen herself, right?
Yeah, this was right after halftime, and those are the most important moments in the game where you have to stay switched on. So for Houston, this is unfortunate, but for LA, what a screamer. Unbelievable, top bins, great shot.
Great shot indeed. And just a couple of minutes later, this is why you have no room for error or lapse in concentration, because Berkeley will eventually get a goal, and Angel City will find themselves in front for the first time in the game.
Yeah, nearly the save of the year from Jane Campbell. I think she's got to feel hard done there. But yeah, Angel City, I mean, the momentum that they gained in these first few minutes at halftime was spectacular.
A couple minutes later now, my girl, my reggae girl, Kiki Van Zanten, she has a huge chance to equalize here for Houston, but her shot's punched over the bar.
Yeah, and a player who's been at the top of her game and scoring goals left and right. She nearly equalizes it for Houston, but yes, great save of the goalkeeper here to keep them in the game 2-1.
So Angel City get the big win in this one, and you can have a look and see exactly what it means to them, because they have been having quite the hot start. They are at the top of the table, first in position, and their perfect record from their 3 games. Now let's hear from Alex Strauss on just how high their ceiling could be.
What do you think the ceiling is for this group? I know it's early in the season, but when you start thinking about what this team can do, what it can be, where are you at right now?
Yeah, that's. I think I understand your question, and I think we think a little bit different, me and you. There is no ceiling for this team. The ceiling, if you believe the ceiling is just an illusion, we can be as good as we can be, and we can be the best team in the world. But we will not be that tomorrow, and we might not be that this season. So the process goes on. It doesn't start in January and it ends in November. That's what I'm talking about, the process. The process is going to run for 3 or 4 or 5 years, and when some of us leave, there will come new people in and continue the process. So the team is going to grow, and that's my job, and that's what I've been doing for 15 years. Everywhere I've been is like to make those wheels turn, move forward, and hopefully leave this team in a better way than it was when I arrived.
All right, love that. There is no ceiling. And I mean, the way they're going, it's just an illusion, just an illusion. I absolutely love that. But guys, be honest with me now. How much are we buying into what we're seeing from Angel City right now? Is it just a hot streak at the start of the season? Or do you see enough to suggest that they can actually sustain this?
Well, we haven't seen an LA team look this good ever. So congrats to them with just the mentality, the emotion, the passion that they're showing. Also, just the technical ability from the players has jumped so much higher than in recent seasons. But I do think it's now the belief that they have. They look like they expect to win, rather than just showing up and trying their best. They're actually performing really well. They're sharing the ball. They're combining really well together in the attack. They're creating opportunities. And then when you have, John's daughter up top, who's finishing her chances and putting points on the board consistently now for the last 3 to 4 games, unbelievable by them. And obviously that stems a lot from the leadership, which, yes, Alex Strauss had a tough, coming into a tough situation last summer. But now he's had, started with them from the beginning of preseason until now, and you can see that there's a tremendous change and positive growth. So I'm thrilled to see where they are now, and this is only the beginning. We can't get too far ahead because the season has ups and downs, but ultimately they are off to a great start, which then builds confidence into the next game.
Well, I mean, Ali and I love to get excited about things, but Jeff, are you drinking that Kool-Aid? Because you're the level-headed one. Are you getting excited like we are?
You know what? Yeah, it's been tough to drink that Kool-Aid through the years with Angel City, right? But I do think, everything that Ali said about the technical side and what we're seeing out of players, but I also look at this game and they actually were outplayed. I mean, Houston was the better team, and when I look at Angel City in the short existence that they've had, they don't win games that they shouldn't. They don't win games that they should either a lot of the time. So the fact that they were getting punched, came out of halftime, responded, won this game, even against the grain, is not something we've seen from them. So I think it speaks to the mentality and the piece, maybe the intangibles that Ali's talking about as well, where some of that is coaching, some of that is leadership, and yes, and then the skills are coming together where whether it's a Giselle Thompson, a Kennedy Fuller, players that are stepping up to more mature, more in-depth roles. And, I think the skill is there. Of course, it's a long season. We're 3 games in and can't get too high. They're going to hit some roadblocks. But I think this is the most promising run that we've seen from Angel City to date, really.
I mean, as you said, definitely big improvements there. If you finished 4th from bottom last time, and then you almost want to drink the Kool-Aid and get excited for this one now too, Ali. And as Jeff pointed out, just the fact that you could get punched down but still rally and fight back. It's only the second time in the club's history that they've been able to trail at halftime and fight their way back. Do you see a point where they can maybe not need that wake-up call and control the game more?
Yeah, and they have shown that, especially against Chicago, the first game of the season, where they were very, very strong in their performance, very confident, and it wasn't a come-from-behind mentality that they showed against Houston. And Jeff is right. That first half, I thought Houston, was gonna absolutely dominate the rest of the game. It looked like it could have been 3-4-0 if they finished every single opportunity that they created. And then the first couple minutes after that, halftime whistle. We always say the first 5 minutes of the game, the last 5 minutes of the game, and then both 5 minutes, before and after the halftime. Those are the most critical and crucial moments of the match where you have to stay switched on and you have to stay focused. And the way that they came back and showed that mentality, showed that confidence in the style that they played, score those 2 goals and win the game at home, that was unbelievable because of the first half, inconsistencies that were happening at the start of the game.
Yeah, well, Houston were the only other perfect team heading into this clash. So I suppose not panic stations just yet, as Ali and Jeff pointed out. Houston did have their moments in the game. So let's hear from Avery Patterson on what's changed with the culture at Houston.
Fabrice, huge hats off to him. He came in last year, first-time head coach, and, I think it's always something where it's going to take a second to have buy-in from the girls. I think we've seen so much turnover here in Houston that it's almost like a skeptical thing where we're not sure if, this guy's with us for the long haul or if it's going to be another turnaround, a year turnaround. So, the first 6 months, it was him instilling the belief that he had in us. And, I think the 6 months after the NWSL break-in this summer of last year was us believing in him too and us trusting that he was going to take us to where we wanted to go as a club. And that's been continued through into this year. And it's, we have leadership club now, and we have people that are just bought into this team. We have a significant increase in our auxiliary staff. So, it's really like a holistic approach to building this club into something that other people would want to be a part of. So, it's something that I'm proud of, and it's something that I think all of our players here are proud of as well.
Right, well, they didn't come out on top, at least in this game, Jeff, but as we said, there were promising signs. They were all over LA in that first half as well, so we're not going to quite hit panic stations just yet.
No, I actually think Houston was the better team. I come away from this pretty optimistic about Houston. And Christina's not here to hear this dash praise. I know she'd be singing it too.
She's watching though, best believe.
I mean, I have been, I think, fairly critical of Houston through these years where they've struggled to find any consistency at all, whether it's head coaching on the field. I think that, again, very early, so I'm cautious in the sense that we're a few games into the season and these things can regress to the mean. But this is a Houston team that I think has the look of the recipe for success in this league because they can press, they can counter press, they can get on teams, they don't need possession, and they can win in that way. The one question I have about them, especially after the transfer of Yaz Ryan and Delaney Sheehan, is probably, do they have the depth to sustain that over 30 games over the long haul? I'm not sure, but I think that they have the right style of play. They have the right leadership. For the first time, again, to the Angel City piece, for the first time that I can remember in a very long time in Houston.
Ale, do you agree with Jeff that their only real concern right now is looking at that depth?
Yeah, I really think you have to go week to week, right? And I completely agree with Jeff. This is a Houston that we haven't seen. I don't think I've ever seen a Houston this talented, this young, this confident. They just look confident. They're high pressing. Their transitional moments have been clinical where, you know, the first pass is usually an active pass, which is going forward, instead of a passive pass, which is sideways or backwards. So you could tell that they're trying to play. They're trying to combine. They're trying to be a possession-oriented style team. And I saw that. And we've seen that in the past few games, but we've also saw that against LA, who is technically one of the best teams now in the league. But yes, it's great that we see them buying in to what Fabrice is presenting. And, you know, it really starts with the leadership. And I think now that they have a really good, talented group, but I agree that if they don't have that depth or if they can't keep all the players healthy throughout the entire season, you know, there will be some ups and downs. But as of right now, they look great. And this is not, you know, oh shoot moment where you have to go back and, you know, try to iron out all the details at once and look at all the mistakes. And it's, okay, let's take a breath. We played well. We, you know, accomplished things that we needed to accomplish. And now we just have to see the game and have a complete performance and not just the first half.
Just calm down. We'll just calm down.
Just everybody,
Just everybody calm down. Just everybody calm down. All right.